Undead Labs has done it yet again. I don't know how this little AA studio continues, or are they even AA anymore? Continues to come out with this absolute goodness. But guys, update 29 is set to be freaking awesome. And the next update is set to feature the biggest overhaul to the 3 maps visually. And man, it looks really good. We're going to go ahead and showcase all of that in this video from Undead Labs in their live stream. We're also going to go ahead and show what happened to the FOV slider, as it looks like that's making a comeback in update 29. Also, a lot of little quality of life changes will be happening as well. With that, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for State of Decay 2 and these upcoming awesome State of Decay 3 videos I got. You're going to want to see this stuff. Hit that notification bell. With that, let's get into it. So today, Undead Labs held a live stream uncovering what we're going to be seeing with update 29, and by far the biggest changes we're going to be seeing come in the form of a revamp and visual overhaul to Drucker County, Meager Valley, and Cascade Hills. Not only that, according to Undead Labs, they have changed even the nighttime to what they're calling a more Hollywood night, to where it's not as dark and described as kind of like a more bluish, I think, color. Still dark enough to kind of keep the suspense going, but definitely a lot more appealing, and obviously visually you'll be able to see a little bit more. Now we're going to start this off with showcasing Drucker County, which apparently, according to Undead Labs, actually got the biggest overhaul. And here we start to see some very cool side-by-side visual comparisons. As you guys can see, guys, these are some pretty huge differences between the two. Some notes here that I wrote from the stream said they did little things like make the rocks a little bit more visually, I guess, appealing, more detailed, having more details in general from the ground to the foliage. Also, they said the hills are a little bit more cleaner. They also said it won't be as misty as like Providence Ridge as in the 3 maps, which is really good. They also went to show side-by-side comparisons of Cascade Hills, as you can see here, and immediately looking at the buildings, the colors really stick out here. There's definitely more detail in general, definitely just more, I don't know how to say it, just more cohesive, right? It just looks like it's more real. Meager Valley here is the final one, and just more of the same goodness. Overall, I have to say I'm very impressed, because the game looks like a proper title that was made in 2022 and actually stands up to the test of time now. I think what we also don't realize is this was actually being shown off on a compressed live stream that is double compressed by my own upload, and you can really see even with that the stark differences between all of these side-by-side comparisons. This is going to look much better on your own screen, and we're going to see some more side-by-side comparisons here when this hits beta for testing and I get to go ahead and showcase some of this off myself. Also, one last thing to note is all these visual overhauls were actually done by a third-party studio that was helping Undead Labs with these updates. Obviously, they weren't doing it for free, but the core team of Undead Labs was at the same time working on games, obviously mechanical changes, things like the infestations, and who knows what else they're going to go ahead and announce later here in the weeks and months ahead. All this was really incredible to see the past few months, to see such big changes already to a 3 to 4 year old game, and the fact that they were able to hit every single map was awesome. Good to see, and I was very happy just in general to see this coming as the next update. Also, let's move on to some other things here. We have new icons and logos for the weapons, and one of the reasons this was done was because it helps you identify what section these weapons are in. So for example, you have network or red talon weapons. Now you know that these guns are going to be a little more rare, and obviously new players are not going to have any idea, or players who have not, don't know about like a lot of the inner workings of some of these more rare guns and where they come from. So with these little network icons, that should be a little bit more clear. Now, they did say no new bounty packs are going to come out of this, but either way, now we have this easier way to identify. Another part of this update coming is destructible environmental pieces, like a fence can be destroyed with a two-hander, and even windows. Jeffrey Card kept saying this can be done with a two-hander, so he made it seem only a two-hander can do it. So I'm not sure if it can be destroyed with a one-hander, as in the fences and windows. But again, I think this is more immersive elements added to the game. Honestly, this has no complaints from me, and I love seeing this as well. Finally, the infamous question of the FOV sliders was brought up, and I know a lot of you had been asking me what happened to this. You had been asking Undead Labs what on earth had happened to it. It had some bugs, so it didn't make the last update, but it is now officially coming out with update 29. I've actually showcased this myself, I think, several times. They also went ahead and showed it off themselves here via the stream. You can really see the different perspectives, and it's pretty stark. One thing he says is that I couldn't agree more with this, is that when you zoom out with the 100 FOV setting, you really do get a fisheye look. Personally, I don't see myself using this, and I'm not a fan of that fisheye look. And even looking at the 40 setting, FOV setting, where it's more zoomed in and you almost have like a first person type of look, I don't like this either. So I'm more than likely just going to keep it by default. And like I always say, guys, having options is always a good thing. I know a lot of you are really looking forward to this FOV slider, and I know a lot of you were absolutely bummed that it got scrapped. So I'm really happy it's here for those who are going to be using this, enjoying this, and I'm sure even making some more immersive gameplay elements out of this. And I can't wait to see what you guys come up with while you're playing with these settings. Should be interesting. Lastly, there was some minor quality of life changes that our man Jeffrey started listing off, and he showcased a couple here with these lines here on the stream. I'm going to go ahead and hit the very important ones quickly. He said that axes now make sounds again when fighting armored zombies, so that's cool. The Echo Lab research station should now give 10 plague samples if you have pathology in your community. This one actually had been bugged out, and I thought it was fixed a while ago, but nope, still remains screwed up. And it's one of the reasons I had actually told people to grab this outpost. And if you don't have an advanced biochem station, you certainly want to grab this outpost, in my opinion, in your playthrough. So finally, I can recommend this fully. Again, this is an outpost in Trumbull Valley. Okay, now this is an interesting one, and I didn't even know this existed, but gunslinging, when you aim to snap, well, they remove the fact that it didn't spread. That's going to be coming in update 29, so it's a bug fix, I guess. Now, the pellets of a shotgun you use should spread properly outward. So for those who might have been using this as a way to do major damage, since all the pellets were just going, like, I'm guessing in a linear straight fashion, it's going to be gone. So that's going to be an interesting one if you've been kind of using this exploit. It's not really an exploit. I guess it's a bug they just never fixed. But if you've been using this to your advantage, it's gone. And another one here is they said they got rid of the permanent crouch bug. That's good. Finally, advanced toolkits will now be found in Plague Hearts in lethal difficulty, which is going to be super nice knowing that myself, as that's essentially what it's always a bummer just to get a lame normal toolkit. So the advanced toolkit should be cool. Overall, guys, nothing really super huge on mechanical changes for update 29, but I mean, heck of a job managing the resources by using a third-party studio, outsourcing the visual changes, while in the meantime they've been working on getting things like the infestation update and a lot more. One thing I want to note, Jeffrey mentioned on the live stream that their next stream, which is about a month out from now, all the way in March, keep in mind February is only going to be 28 days, that they would reveal more things. So I'm guessing things for update and hints for update 30. And I imagine update 30 to be maybe potentially big just because it's such a cool number, but who knows? Honestly, I thought that the maps would be rolled out update to update one by one, not all at once like here we're going to get with update 29 and get this huge visual overhaul. And I think that's freaking awesome. Kudos all around to Undead Labs, and I'm guessing Microsoft for funding all of this. It's just incredible to see this game continue to transform as we are on the road to State of Decay 3. With that, let me know which changes with update 29 you guys are most happy about. What do you guys think we're going to see with update 30, and what are you hoping they bring personally? I'd love to hear that. I'm Sunny, and as always, stay safe out there, survivors.